Hi, and welcome back to the M&M show. It's Miles and Matthew, continuing to talk about Bordeaux 2025. We're going to put Matthew a bit more on the spot rather than just talking about the general vintage and what it did and where it was, why it was so good. We're going to ask him a few more specifics. So, Matthew, on the spot you are. If you had to pick a left or bank, if you had to, which one would you go for?
A left bank. Interesting.
Left or right bank? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, right. So I have no idea what you're on about for a minute. I think one of the characteristics of the vintage, and one of the things that makes it potentially a great vintage, is that quality is sort of spread from all 4 points of the compass: up, down, left, right. So there are high points everywhere. It's very difficult to choose left or right bank. Can I cheat?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take Saint-Emilion on the right bank, because I think although there are some amazing wines in Pomerol, perhaps Pomerol finds it a bit harder in these hot vintages, and Saint-Emilion is really riding a wave at the moment. I think there's some high points there, especially amongst the limestone terroirs of the Côte and the Plateau. And on the left bank, it's quite tempting to go with Margaux, and I think a lot of people will, but I'm a Pauillac kind of guy, so I'll stick there. I think that's where I found the greatest concentration of really exciting wines.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't do as much tasting as you, but I really enjoyed Margaux this year, partly because they were so approachable, some of them, at such a young age. Okay, so if you had to choose, I'm going to give you 3 different brackets. A money no object wine, a middle grounder, and a bargain basement. What would you put forward, please?
Okay. Left bank, money no object. I would love Latour. I'd also need a bit of a time machine because I have to go forward until whenever they choose to release it. But that one I think is going to be one of the absolute greats. Money no object, left bank, something that's actually going to get released this year. Ooh, do you know what I think? I think Mouton was pretty special.
Right. Okay. Right bank.
Right bank, money no object. I'd be looking Le Fleur probably.
Yeah, I thought you might say that. Okay, so same question for the middle ranger, left and right, please.
Left. Oh, you've got. I suppose you have to define what your middle range is, right? But something
that's going to be, say, between 30 and 70 quid a bottle.
Grand Prix Lacoste. I thought it was sensational. I mean, there are a lot of candidates in that bracket because there's a lot of properties making sensational wine, I think, in that kind of mid-tier, and you pick all sorts of things. Rosanne Segler's got to be in the conversation, but I just love GPR this year.
Great. Okay. And on the right side, slightly harder.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, you're probably out of things like VCC and Conseillante, which were, exquisite. So probably Saint-Emilion is where you start your shopping. And can I squeeze Canon in?
Yeah, I'll give you that. Just because it was so damn good. Yes.
I think, yeah, actually Canon is probably contender for, sort of top half dozen wines of the vintage.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. And for the bargain basement, did you find anything that particularly wowed you?
Yeah, I think there's probably quite a lot of options out there because this is not a vintage that sort of respects the qualitative hierarchies, and it's not as though all of the top wines are bunched up toward the top of the classifications. Those wines might be sensational, but everybody's overperforming to a degree, or most people where we tasted. So left bank, very probably Gloria, or if I'm allowed it, Clerc Mion.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're bargain basement.
Well, maybe they will be. Maybe this is going to be the vintage where it comes out. Bargain basement price. First year I tasted a Clerc Mion that seemed to have a signature of Mouton sort of purity and flamboyance.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything on the right bank, down at the
on
left?
The right bank, at La Cafellia, I thought very highly of Chateau Piblanquet. I think they've done really great things since taking that over from the previous owners, and it's a billy bargain. I'm not sure I didn't prefer it to the Grand Vin Lagaffelia, not the Grand Vin, the other flagship wine of the family, Lagaffelia. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd maybe look to La Perrière from the Guanados at La Fleur, because I think consistently, somehow it's still slightly under the radar. It's still at a price that doesn't really reflect its caliber.
Sure. Okay. You could put Grand Village in that as well, presumably.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Of course. Yeah. Okay. That's great. Thank you very much. Catch you soon.
Okay. Cheers.